Hey guys, this is GamerGuy. Welcome to another Pokemon TCG draft here. We're on to the 27th set, Legend Maker. Not one of the finest sets, I will just say that now, but there are a lot of interesting things in here, and some of these cards did make an impact in future formats, specifically stuff like Banette. Arcanine is a big hit from this one. Flygon was something I've seen decks made out of. There are a couple of disruptive tools in here as well. The Lunatone and Soul Rock here let you shut down Pokepowers in play, so for like Colress and Fire types if you have both of them out. So that was played as like a 1-1 in a lot of decks. But in general, not a ton of super meta warping like threats in here. So it's a neat set. There's a lot of good cards in the stadium slot that we're going to be looking to get here. And then there is also React Energy. This is the gimmick of the set. A lot of these cards rely on using React Energy to do a bunch of stuff. And React Energy by itself is like Plasma Energy in Gen 5. It's just a colorless energy. It doesn't do anything, but it reacts to the Pokemon that we have here and does a bunch of stuff with their Pokebodies and Pokepowers and things like that. So Kecleon here becomes Omni-type if you have React Energy on it. The Gengar does more damage if you put React Energy on it with its attack. The Delcatty can move energy around so long as it's React Energy. Gorbis and Huntail are especially good for getting and utilizing React Energy, so they are very nice to use here. And then like Wailord gives you 0 retreat on water Pokemon when you have React Energy on it. So there's a bunch of neat things. There's more than that in here, but that is at least a reasonable first look. Most of the set's power is concentrated on Mew EX though, let's be honest. Not every deck runs this, but Mew EX uses any attack that's in play so long as you can pay for it. The first time we see this kind of attack actually on the Mew, or the ability, and it has basically been a staple of Mew's game plan in every single good iteration of Mew beyond that. So let's just see what we can do. Again, not super high hopes for this set, but let's just at least try and get something interesting out of it. And, well, that kind of counts straight away. So, a couple of cards worth noting. Let's actually go over the Celio first, because I think Pepper is going to be looking at this one with his Walrein. Power Circulation lets you top deck, and then a basic energy from your discard pile, and then put a damage counter on the Celio. So, normally this wouldn't be super duper good, but because Walrein lets you accelerate with Crush Draw, and look at the top card of your deck, if it's a basic energy, put it onto one of your Pokemon, you can use this with the Walrein in order to accelerate a basic energy from your discard, which is kind of fun. Gengar is also somewhat neat here. Shadow Curse is pretty much a spell tag-esque effect. If it gets KO'd by damage, you can put 3 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. This doesn't have to be active to use this power, so you could use this from the bench as well, which is pretty fun. Cursed Reaction for 1 Psychic is put 2 damage counters anywhere on the opponent's board. A little bit underwhelming, but if you put React Energy on this, so then it becomes a 2 energy attack, put 4 damage counters wherever you want. Now that is actually pretty significant. Also, it's putting damage counters, which means that you can ignore quite a bit actually. You can ignore its own ability because it's not tapped by damage, but you can also ignore metal energies and stuff like that, bypass things that way. Its second attack is expensive, but if the opponent's not attacking you and leaving something in the active that, they're just like baby chipping or something, Super Cyborg is pretty respectable. So, not too bad. There's one of these in a theme deck as well, so we already have a pretty respectable core of them there. So, good start, I guess. There's a Grimer in this set that has Ascension. The Muck in this set does the same-ish thing as Muck EX did. It doesn't block Pokebodies, but it does block powers. But it's also not very strong, so we'll talk about it if we get it, but I just want to note it does have Ascension in play as well. Spinder, I don't remember being too good. It smoke screens basic Pokemon, I guess, which is neat. Whimsy Draw doesn't give you a base draw, so it's not super good. Double Edge is not too powerful either, so mostly there for the smokescreen style effect at the start of the game, but if you want this kind of thing, you probably just play like Skarmory or something, or there's a few options for that in this set as well. Tentacruel uses react energy to shield dust itself, but it also shield dusts. No, actually, it's more than that. Yeah, this is actually safeguard for all of your Tentacruel, which is interesting. Otherwise, it's not very good though, I don't think. There's never been a good Tentacruel, so kind of whatever. Moving on. Sadly, Rainbow Energy gets a reprint in this set. I say sadly because we could pull it in the rare slot. Look at this, speaking of sad, this Armonite is the most disappointing Armonite I've ever seen. It's so sad. It's so lonely because apparently everybody else has been a jerk to it. It ignores resistance on all of your Armonites and Kabuto line. Not Aerodactyl this time, which is weird. But yeah, it ignores resistance. So water fighting is generally stuff that way. So, you know, kind of nice. Wurmple poisons when it gets damaged, which is kind of weird. It's the fattest Wurmple I've ever seen as well. Alpha Wurmple, I guess. Reactive Aroma on the Roselia, it lets you heal one from each of your Pokemon that has React Energy on it in between turns, so that's kind of okay, I suppose. Flick Poison is what you generally use this for. You switch your opponent's bench and poison, right? So you have to switch is the problem point with this guy, but I think it's fine still. You're forcing the opponent to Gust, and you actually get to choose as well what comes in, so not too bad. Here we have the supporter for this set. It is Field Worker. I don't think anyone's going to play this, but maybe draw 3 cards and let the opponent draw. Letting the opponent draw is probably enough to make this not C-play, but it is otherwise a draw 3, and hey, there's Mew in the background, so it's pretty cute, right? Tangler, if you attach a React Energy to it, full heals itself, which is interesting, I suppose. Entangling Vines also prevents attacking, so I suppose there is that. Probably not good enough, but still. Credilli is our Hollow this time. It has 3 different attacks. For each React Energy that's on it, you can devolve one of your opponent's Pokemon and shuffle it into deck, which is actually pretty dangerous, to be honest. Linear attack is just 30, we've seen this on Marowak. It's not good on the stage 2, to be honest. Mudshot doing only 50 is also pretty weak, so I'm not too convinced on it, but in a massively heavy disruption engine, maybe it's good enough, I don't know. Here is our first stadium card, Power Tree. I am looking for Full Flame and Giant Stump mostly, but Power Tree is really good too. If a player doesn't have any special energy in their discard pile, they can get a basic energy from their discard pile and add it to their hand. This is very strong for any deck that doesn't rely on specials, which admittedly isn't a lot of them right now, but the Holon engine can let you Rainbow without using Pokemon, without using energy, right? They use Pokemon instead. So you don't have to play like a Rainbow Energy, you could play all basics and then the Holon Electrode or something, and that could be your way to go around it otherwise. Not too bad. Huntail is pretty solid. If it doesn't have a React Energy on it, you can search your deck for a React Energy and attach it to the Huntail. Bite Off is kind of whatever, like 70 to EX is decent enough. Kills a lot of them if you hit for weakness, so that's kind of cool, but it's a bit expensive on that front. But it's mostly used with the Gorbis in order to double Rainbow Energy, the React Energy, which is actually very strong. Cascoon has a Evolve power if you flip heads. Pretty much all you need to know. Dustox EX has got Safeguard, so there is that. Yeah, here's the one we want. So first off, Mischievous has the Deep Sleep ability, which actually works on this thing too. Unlike the Relicanth, this guarantees sleep by returning an energy on the Mischievous to the hand. And then it does 30 damage for 1 if the opponent is asleep. So kinda cool, but maybe a little bit conditional, but with other locking abilities and stuff, you could maybe do some good stuff here. Giant Stump is a bit like Collapse Stadium nowadays, but a bit more restrictive. When it comes into play, you have to discard Pokemon so that you only have 3 bench Pokemon in play at most, and it restricts you from playing any more at that point. So, very, very cool. It almost looks lore-wise like this is the chopped down version of Power Tree. I don't know if that's true, but it kind of looks it, right? This is a big ass tree, it would make sense. Omastar, if you have a Kabuto Kabutops or Kabutops EX in play, Omastar does 20 more damage, which doesn't do enough damage to compensate for that, so it's a bit like the Hariyama situation, but worse than the last set, so unfortunate. Fossils, for the record, have a difference in their text and stuff now. You do not count it as a knocked out Pokemon still, but you do have to start with a fossil if you do not have a basic Pokemon in your hand other than the fossil. So they may be a little bit less reliable than they used to be, but they're still pretty decent. Here is Lantern. This is a dual armor Pokemon, so if you have a water energy attached to this thing, it is water and lightning at the same time. Its attacks are a little bit expensive for this. Water Gun is 40 for 3, 60 for 4, 80 for 5, which is hard to fully power up, but Scramble Energy goes a long way towards this. You could boost energy this as well, so like it's not terrible. If you can get the energy on to do water and lightning weakness, those are good weaknesses to hit, so respectable. Here is another stadium card, Cursed Stone. This is one I have to watch out for when playing the EV deck. At any time between turns, you put a damage counter on each of the Pokemon that has a Pokepower, which is like all of the EVs. Also Pidgeot and, you know, all of the setup mons, so this is a decent like anti-ability card for sure. Machamp is also kind of interesting here. You discard a special energy, so Derail for 2 energy, fighting Colress to do 40, it's pretty good. And then Swift Blow for each react energy that's on the Machamp, it does 20 more. So fighting, react will do 100 for free. Very, very powerful attack actually. Definitely worth looking into if you can get the engine for it. Here are a couple of decent cards. Dunsparce is hilarious because its battles will be legendary. If your opponent has a Dunsparce, then neither Dunsparce could attack. That's pretty much it. Down draw draws the top 2 from the bottom 2 cards in your deck even, which is not a place you normally draw from, so that's kind of neat. And Tripping Turn auto confuses and can switch out the Dunsparce. Pretty good lead in certain matchups, so there is that. Solrock, very nice for the Lunar Rock deck. It's if you have a Lunatone in play, then non-EX colorless Pokemon cannot use any Pokepowers. Also has Call for Family to search for that Lunatone, so you can shut down powers immediately. And Hyper Beam doesn't do damage, but can discard an energy. Not obviously good for that part, but Call for Family is nice. It's got 1 retreat. You can use this with the other Solrock as well, which is pretty helpful. So definitely not bad. Here we have another Credilli, as well as Magneton, something I do actually think is kind of nice. If it would get KO'd by damage, you can move any number of React Energy from Magneton to your other Pokemon in any way that you like. This works because then the Magneton for 1 Lightning and a React Energy will do 30 plus 10 to your opponent for each Magnemite and Magneton that's in play. It's actually really good. 70 for 2. And you get to preserve some of that energy in play as well. If you run this with a high enough recovery count, you can do huge work with this. I'm actually very, very curious to see if this will work, but you need react energy in order to make it happen, so we'll see. Oh, wow, that's a really good pull. Okay, third Gengar, so we could go into the Gengar deck and get 4, it's excellent. Banette EX is amazing. It's a bit frail, but it is ridiculously good. If it's your active Pokemon, you can move a damage counter from either player's Pokemon to any other Pokemon in play. You can KO stuff with this too. Very, very strong. It's a bit frail, 90 HP, but Shadow Chant is also only 2 energy. And we have a perfectly functional Banette deck from Hidden Legends too. 30 damage plus 10 for each supporter in your discard pile, up to 90. 90 for 2! Crazy card. Definitely one that we want to see here. Strange Cave is very good for the fossil stuff. You just get to put an Omanyte, Kabuto, Aerodactyl, Lileep, or Anorith from your bench onto your bench from the hand. So you search out those cards. They are evolutions, so you do have to maybe work a little bit harder to search them. You can't just like hold on to them, but yeah, you just get to play one of those onto the bench from your hand, so you don't even need the fossil guaranteed. pretty sweet. Here is another Power Tree and the Lunatone. Very, very good card, just in general, actually. You want more of the Lunatone than the Soul Rock if you're going to get, like, you know, just one of each. Moon Guidance is really good. This is why you want it. It searches your deck for a trainer card. Any trainer card, so you can get a supporter. No, you can't get a supporter, because you get anything that isn't a supporter. But if you get Hold on Transceiver, that does get you a supporter. So it kind of works out, right? You could get Versus Seeker for a supporter for next turn. Soul Shade also works with the Sunshade. Is it Sunshade? No, Lunar Shade. Okay, I guess it makes sense. Soul for the Sun, Luna for... yeah. Stops fire Pokemon from having abilities, which doesn't sound like it makes a difference until you realize that Macago is very, very powerful and will really hate this. So, yeah, not too bad. Alright, moving on. There is our first React Energy and our first Pokemon Star. Not really the set to get them in, but I'm okay with it. So like I said, React Energy, we need 2 of this. I want 4 though, not because I need them, but because I want to trade them to Sai because he didn't pull any. Registeel Star. The stars in this set are all the Regis. They're not very good, but it's pretty funny anyway. Barrier attack is sort of whatever, right? Reduce damage by 10 next turn. Yeah, okay, it's on a metal attack, so you're going to reduce more, but that's still whatever. Final Laser. 2 metal and a colorless to put 3 damage counters on the opponent's Pokemon in any way that you like, but if it's the only Pokemon you have and the opponent is down to 1 prize, you put 6 damage counters instead. Oh boy, I'm torn on this one, because I think this is close to being decent, solely because you can tank with it, but I feel like it still takes too much damage. There is maybe a way to make this work, but I'm having a hard time justifying it right now. Moving on, this is the major card I wanted to see 1 copy of here. Lapras, if you know any EXGX V format later on, this is very powerful. Tapu Lele GX, Lumineon V at the moment actually is the same sort of thing. When you bench this from hand, search your deck for a supporter card, put it into your hand. Very, very good card. I think Torkoal is a rare as well. Doesn't do crap, but you know, go Torkoal, I suppose. Moving on here. Hey, this is another one I wouldn't have minded seeing. I don't know if we're going to get to use it, but it is very, very funny. Wailord DX is somewhat cool, as if it has React Energy on it, all of your water Pokemon have no retreat except DXs, so its 4 energy retreat cost is not actually that big of a problem. Hypno Splash is very expensive. Auto Sleep is kind of cute, I suppose, but still expensive. The main thing is the Nidoqueen-esque attack here, Rely on Friends. 4 energy is a lot, but Scramble Energy can sometimes pay a lot of this, so that can be kind of nice. 40 plus 10 for each benched Stage 1 evolution. It caps out at 90 damage if you fully set up, which is admittedly rather hard to do, but there may be something to it. Paragon 1 obviously helps quite a lot, so there is that. Just wanted to see the Chinchou over here. Random Spark is probably better than the other Chinchou we have right now, so there is that. Okay, I guess I don't need the deck anymore because here's a 4th Gengar. That's crazy, actually. Here's Girafarig. I think this thing has played a little bit as well. Each player's active basic Pokemon can't use any Poké Powers, so this is anti-Jirachi straight away. Foresight is also really good in setting up decks and whatnot, and also potentially disrupting the opponent's top deck. I don't really know if we're going to actually play anything like that, but Mewlock obviously would be a deck that would play this. Don't think anyone's got Mew so far though, so there is that. Disorder, it auto-confuses if the opponent has special energy. That's kind of nice actually. Also shoutouts to Ferret for having Do the Wave, the exact same Do the Wave that Wigglytuff used to have, for the same HP and stuff too. It's obviously power crap to this point. Here's our second React Energy, so we're guaranteed a full playset, which is very nice. Also Root Fossil, haven't spoken with this yet, but I believe I only pulled 1 in Sandstorm, so I need to see a couple of that. Second Machamp is also pretty good. We could try and play something with that. Probably wouldn't be the worst, but we would need to get Delcatty from this set as well, I think. Which we haven't yet. Here's the second giant stump, which is good because I needed at least 2 of those. The Eevee deck actually plays 2 of this. It also plays 2 of a stadium we haven't seen yet, so hopefully we get it. Mew is a interestingly drawn card in this one. This is not the Mew that everybody would be clamoring over, but it is still kind of neat. You can change its type to the same type as what the opponent is, copies their exact type, so it would copy both types of a Delta species, for example. It's mainly here for Link Blast, but there are some cute things, maybe with Gusting as well. There are some cute things that you could do to hit specific things for weakness here. Link Blast is Metagross's attack, but 20 less on both numbers. 50 damage if you match the energy the opponent has, 20 if you don't. It's okay. I do think there's potential to play like one of it somewhere, but it's very awkward. It's probably not worth it. Here's another Lantern. Also, shoutouts to Geodude for just killing itself with self-destruct. I don't know what it is about that, it's just amusing to me. Yeah, second Lantern, kind of okay. Second Wailord is pretty fun. We might try something with that. Nice Root Fossil too. Golem is an intriguing card. This is in the other deck, so it would be nice to get a couple of these as well. Mend is pretty respectable. Search your discard pile for a fighting energy, attach it to Golem, heal 20 from the Golem. Enrage linear attack kind of goes against Mend, but I mean it's got a lot of HP, and you can energy root this thing, so that's definitely not too bad. Snipe 10 to one of your opponent's Pokemon for every damage counter on the Golem. Exactly the same as Gardevoir actually, for the same cost as well, like 2 energy. Then Rock Tumble is 70 for 4, which is a little expensive without good acceleration in fighting, but it also doesn't get affected by resistance, which is quite nice, so respectable. Is the second Rainbow Energy, kind of whatever. Nothing too fancy out of there, so let's just move on. Second Solrock, again you want the Lunatone more than the Solrock, but that's fine I suppose. Let's just move right along. Third React Energy, thank you. We want one more of these so I can get them to Psy. Here's another Giant Stump and a Gorbis. Each React Energy attached to all of your Huntail and Gorbis provide 2 of every energy type but have no other effect. So, double Rainbow Energy that doesn't decrease your damage. Very good for the Gorbis itself as well, because Hydro Pump does a lot of damage actually. 2 energy 30, but 3 energy 50, 4 energy 70. We've seen this attack a lot, but if you're using 2 React Energy to do this, 70 for 2, absurd. Also, those energy count as Psychic type as well, which means the Gorbis and Hidden Legends that we have 3 of, we can just use, and just get like so much damage out of that. Here's the second Curse Stone, another Lantern, it's kind of neat. Absol. Sadly, not the good one yet, we need the EX one for that. If it's the only Pokemon you have in play, the opponent's bases can't attack, so the same sort of thing we had before. EX Pokemon is like the main gimmick for this one. Extra Call lets you search them, so that's really good. Feint Attack is a little bit expensive for just 20 damage, unfortunately, but Extra Call could make it worth it in some decks. I may consider it, because it could be disruptive. Last third of the pack, can we get anything fun? That doesn't count as fun, but we do have to talk about it anyway. Second Strange Cave is kind of good. Wobbuffet. If it's an evolved Pokemon, the opponent pays more to retreat that active Pokemon. Blah. Grind is whatever, like, you could maybe use it, does damage for each energy, big deal, it's not a Dark type, so it doesn't get the bonus from that. Shadow Tag, 7 damage counters at the end of their turn, so if they like evolve or they actually do pay to retreat, they don't get damaged, but it's mostly there because it sits on the bench using that power. Ugh, gross. Oh wow, that's a third Wailord. Oh, we might make something of that actually. I'm gonna have to try it because that'd be very funny. Fourth Giant Stump too. We need Full Flame is the one. Speaking of flames, we need Full Flame is the one here. Arcanine EX. Matt was looking for this one and didn't pull it. Sai has pulled one. Pepper and Leo haven't done their drafts at the time of recording this. Arcanine EX, if you attach a fire to it, heals 10 and all special conditions from the Arcanine. Just a straightforward power card here. Overrun is 30 for 2 and 20 to one of the opponent's bench, which is pretty solid. And Flame Swirl is 100 for 3 energy, but you have to discard 2 fire or 1 react energy attached to the Arcanine. So this obviously works with React Energy to do 100 and just discard 1 at a time. Honestly, really cool card. Definitely worth a look. You could even do something funky like play this with Blastoise, because you could use Holon's Electrode to return the Electrode, not the Electrode, but the 2 waters back to, one of the waters back to hand, attach the Electrode, and use the Electrode as the discard for Flame Swell. So many cool things you could do with it. So that's a neat pickup. Another Power Tree, nothing really too fancy otherwise. That's my definitely at least 3 Root Fossil, so we have the playset of those, which is good because we've been pulling Credilli, so, you know. Absol, yay, I suppose. Moving on here, second Lapras, that's worth trading. You probably don't play 2 because its attack is bad, but that ability is excellent, so that's pretty good. Second Girafarig, yeah, okay. Second Lunatone is good, this is the 5th Giant Stump at this point. We haven't seen Full Flame, and we're pretty near the end of this here. Oh, wow. Wait, that's actually cracked though. 2 Arcanine? Oh, we have got to try and trade for this, surely. Ooh, 6th Giant Stump as well. Man, this just gave me some pause of thought here. We have another Magneton. Nah, whatever. I need another React Energy, right? Yeah, I'm only on 3 at the moment. I would like to see the 4th for Psy, but we've only got 3 packs to do it in. Can we do it? Can we do it? Well, there's the stadium I wanted. Full Flame. So the EV deck played 2 of this as well. You put 4 damage counters instead of 2 on each burn Pokemon in between turns, and you cannot remove burn by evolving or devolving burn Pokemon. So this is excellent for Flareon EX, which auto burns and confuses when you evolve into it. So I would like to see 1 more in these last 2 packs, but I'm not holding out hope. And this is not the way to do it. Muck EX is, it's not even an EX at this point. Muck is just, yeah, it's kind of lame. If it's the active, then the opponent can't use any Poke Powers, but neither can you. It doesn't stop Poke Bodies, so stuff like Fire Remedy up here can still be played, because it is a body, not a power. But it's mostly the fact that it's only 70 HP. I don't think this thing is as good, but it is potentially more annoying, so thankfully Matt didn't pull this one. But, you know, Poison Ring auto poisons and stops the opponent retreating next turn. We've seen this attack on Sceptile EX actually, but this one is half the power for 1 less energy. Sludge Toss is just not super strong, right? 50 for 3 is kind of whatever, but you don't want it to be strong on this thing, so yeah. Last pack, no React Energy. Okay, 7 Giant Stump, 3 Gorbis too. Yeah, I definitely don't need that deck. Let's just bring these over. I can talk about them. I didn't even talk about the promos here. We'll get to that in a sec as well. I think we need to take this one, just because we already have like everything out of here. Normally I would have wanted the Gengar, I'd have wanted Huntail Gorbis, but we've got 4 Gengar, 3 Gorbis, like the Huntail, whatever. Power Tree we already have. Strange Cave we might end up using. This is 2 Golem. Probably don't need Golem, but it is kind of whatever. The Pinsir we didn't get. This is Skarmory for Grass Pokemon. Basically, search your deck for a Grass Pokemon for 1 energy. If this is the only Pokemon you have in play, the opponent's bases can't attack. Blah de blah. Yeah, so we probably take this anyway. We get all the fossil stuff. Strange Cave is there. Let's actually just lock that in real quick before I do anything else. Don't want the switch. We don't need to keep that in. So we'll bring this over and keep it copied. A little bit of a shame I only got the 3 React Energy though. I really was gunning for trying to get 4 to trade to Psy. It's a shame, but hopefully somebody else has pulled 3. I think Matt only pulled 2 as well, so I think we're going to be slightly short, but yeah, we didn't get the Delcatty to go with it though, so I'm not really sure exactly what we do with that side of things. But that is not the point right now. We need to see all of the fun stuff we got here. You know, for a set that I wasn't really too thrilled on, this turned out to be better than I expected. There's a lot of duplicates in here because it's a small set, but that is okay. Normally I don't take the deck beforehand, but there's just literally zero reason for me not to. So, look at this cute Growlithe as well, by the way. This is a Growlithe we would get to play, so yeah, we've got to talk about that first. 2 Arcanine, really, really cool. Only 1 Machoke with the 2 Machamp. I think these are probably going to be traded, to be honest. I think the deck is cool, but I just don't think I'm the one to play it. 2 Magneton, we'll see. Only 2 Haunter, actually. Might need to try and trade for that one, because the Haunter from Fire Red Leaf Green is absolutely terrible, but we will see. This is really cool though, like the Gengar stuff here. 2 Lapras, really, really good one to have for trades. No Carbatops in this one, which is maybe a little bit of a shame. The, what else is there? Free Lantern, like dual armor is good. I have Blastoise, so we could consider playing this as like a lightning card in Blastoise. That would be neat. We have the free Girafarig if we need them, 1 Wobbuffet. Thank God we don't really care to play that. Wynot's Confusion Blade is also really annoying, so there is that. No Shiftry, which could have been kind of cool. Triple Wailord though is very funny. Also, look at this Rainbow Wailmer over here. This is very fun. Yeah, no, we might try something with that. 2 each of the Solrock Lunatone is excellent. I have loads of the previous ones, so we can do Lunarock if I want to try that. Triple Credilli is interesting, but I just don't think it's that good, to be honest. And the glorious Bayonet EX down here as well. We may look at building that. It is only 1, but we may look at using double Bayonets. Plus the Registeel. Overall, yeah, can't complain too much. The only thing that I missed was Full Flame. I need 1 more of that potentially, but Sire's got 3, we might be able to trade into that. And we didn't get a full playset of Mysterious Fossil, but we can use the old ones so long as we update to this artwork and this text, because now Mysterious Fossil's got 50 HP instead of 40. No, it's instead of 10. It only had 10 HP in the past, so there is that. Loads of the power trees and everything. No, we got everything we want there. Curse Stone we got enough of, I think. We've got like 7 Giant Stumps, so we can trade those for the other bits here. And yeah, Strange Cave we still got 3 of, so that's still pretty solid. Yeah, 7 Giant Stump. Look at that. Crazy, crazy good. Okay. This could not really have gone much better, I'll be honest with you. So, yeah, the only thing that could have been better is if we got an Mew EX, but I'm kind of out of LBS anyway, so I don't think I'm too worried about that. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you found this interesting. God, this set does look kind of neat. And yeah, I will talk to you lovely people later on. Bye-bye.